Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. This is Any Kind Media. We are your hosts. My name is Ocean Simeone.
I'm Taylor Vera.
And on this episode of Our Take, we are going to bring to you our series reaction to the Apple TV Plus original series titled C, starring Jason Momoa, Dave Bautista, and a bunch of other people that I don't know their names off the top of my head.
Some of them are familiar, some are not.
Yeah, and this TV show first came out in 2019, and the second season came out in 2021, I believe. And there is a third season confirmed.
The final season.
And on the way. We chose to do this. We chose to do this review because we did a review a couple episodes ago on the Ted Lasso series, and so we figured since we were doing something on the Apple TV Plus platform, we'll find something else to do on there. And I've already actually seen this series prior to this. I watched it with family, but Taylor, you watched it a couple days ago, right? Or just finished it a couple days ago?
No, it was like a couple weeks ago.
It's a couple weeks ago?
Something like that.
Oh,
that was a little while back.
Oh, well, whatever. We're gonna bring to you our take on both season 1 and season 2 of C. We're doing this in preparation for season 3, which comes out. Oh man, I don't know when season 3 comes out.
Next year sometime.
Yeah, I think it's next year. I'm pretty sure it's 2023.
Yeah. The only thing I know is that'll be the last season of the show.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Season 3. Oh no! What? No, doesn't come out next year.
End of this year.
There's a reason why. See, we didn't do this intentionally. I'm gonna preface this. We didn't do this intentionally, but just because we're so good at our jobs, we just naturally brought out this episode reviewing season 1 and season 2. Only like 3 weeks prior to season 3 being coming out.
There we go.
Because it comes out on August 26th. So
that's because we are
yeah, we're just
a visage.
Yeah.
We predict the future.
Yeah, I saw it. CHET
CHET CHET.
So yeah, season 3 comes out on August 26th of this year. So yeah, we're doing this in preparation for that. Totally.
Yeah.
Didn't meant to do that one. But I'm also a Jason Momoa fan, so I'll pretty much watch anything Jason Momoa is in. So I'm also doing this because of that. So, all right, traditional fashion, spoiler-free review, score, spoilers. So.
It's gonna be weird because it's a combination of 2 seasons worth.
So we're gonna be jumping around a lot. I'm not really gonna explain too much of the plot per se. We're really just gonna pick apart what we did like, what we didn't like.
Yeah, it's kind of basic anyways.
But yeah, we're gonna be covering a lot of ground because we're gonna try and not make this an hour-long episode. So, spoiler-free review. If you're a fan of Jason Momoa, you're gonna like the show. In the fact that Jason Momoa is in it. If you're a female that likes Jason Momoa, you're probably going to like the show because you're blinded by the fact that Jason Momoa is in it.
If you're a male, you're also going to be blinded by the fact that Jason Momoa is in it.
Yeah, because I'll admit I was blinded by Jason Momoa for the first season. Season 2, there's a lot of things that I did not care for at all and turned me off to it. But after season 1, I enjoyed it and I was ready for season 2. But yeah, I'm trying not to let any spoilers slip.
Yeah.
But there's just a lot of weird things that they did in season 2 that just did not, it was like the train was headed this way and then they just threw some turns and jerks in there and little squiggly lines, and I was just like, okay. So season 1 though I thought was pretty solid as far as because this is a new concept, right? It's not. I'm sure there are some other things out there, but the fact that I'm pretty sure you know this because you know it in the trailer, but everybody's blind except for 2 people in the first season. So it's just it's interesting to see everybody, how blind life in a post-apocalyptic type of world would be. And I think they do a pretty good job, honestly, on that.
I don't.
I think, okay, let me rephrase that. I think they do a good job of where life would have ended up in a sight-free post-apocalyptic world. How actors portray being blind is a different story. I think that if I think to myself, okay, what would happen if everybody just lost their sight? I think we would end up in something like this, where it's just chaos all the time.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, everybody thinks differently. So as far as watchability goes, guys, this is another one of those that if you happen to have Apple TV Plus already, you're paying for it because you're gonna go watch Ted Lasso, and you have extra time, and you like Jason Momoa, give it a watch. That's my suggestion. I wouldn't go out of my way to watch this show, especially season 2. There are some pretty cool fight scenes, but yeah, that's my suggestion. If you have the time, you like Jason Momoa, and you already have Apple TV Plus, give it a watch.
Honestly, the whole show overall for me I just thought it was okay. I do love Jason Momoa, and he definitely stands apart from everybody in this show.
For sure.
But honestly, I don't know. The whole idea of it sounds cool. I don't like how it's actually portrayed in the show. I find it very inconsistent constantly throughout the show. So I don't really like anything. A lot of the characters are kind of, I don't know, just stupid. And the fight scenes are cool. There's not a ton of them, but when they happen, they're super cool. And if you don't have anything to watch, I would not watch this. I would rather you just go YouTube the fight scenes and enjoy those, and watch something else like Ted Lasso. Or if you already watched that, go honestly Finch. There's a Tom Hanks movie on there. I like that movie better than I like this show. But it's got some cool ideas, but I think it could have been done a lot better. It seems to me pretty average.
Yeah, I hear you. I think I don't know. For me, it was a little bit better than that. I think for the difference between us two is I tend to get blinded by cool action sequences and nice swords, and I don't pay attention to the inconsistencies as much as you do. So that's probably what happened for me.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's just two different watching.
If your entire show is based around the idea that everybody's blind, I'm gonna be a little picky about everything because then it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, scores. I'm sitting at a 5.
A 5
for the total, for the whole. If I was doing season by season, season 1 probably be a 7, and that's another one that for me is in between 7 and 8, and then season 2 is a 4 or 5. So I'm just gonna round it out at a 5.
True. I guess it would be a little different. Yeah, I do want to point out Dave Bautista does not enter the show till season 2.
Oh yeah. Well, you see him at the very end of season 1, don't you?
No, he doesn't come in at all until season 2.
My bad. I messed that one up.
But when he is in there, he's cool.
Great. Yeah, he's great.
It's kind of funny because there's a moment when I know it's just because we're so used to him being Drax, but there's a certain point when he laughs and I'm like, that's Drax laughing. But he's badass. Jason Momoa was badass. Yeah. There's some side characters that were really good, but overall, it's all right. I will say 2 definitely is worse than season 1.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall, yeah, I guess 5 seems all right.
Seems all right. Okay.
It's average.
Yeah. Taylor thinks you shouldn't just watch the fight scenes. I think if you have the time, don't go out of your way to watch the show. But if you have the time, it'll pass time for you at least.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was your official
spoiler alert.
Okay, so getting into the spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, don't keep watching. I forgot to say that before the spoiler, but don't keep watching. Go check out the show if you want to. If not, we're about to dive into some season 1, season 2 spoilers and kind of give you everything you really need to know. Okay, I want to get this out of the way so I don't forget about it. I don't forget about it, like getting lost in talking about the show, because I think this is one of the things that makes me like this show more than the average person. I'm a huge fan of the blacksmith Neo Kamimura, and I know I've talked to you about this guy before. He's a blacksmith from the Big Island of Hawaii. His father owned a blacksmithing shop way back in the day, and then he decided to revive it one day. And then he went on that. Do you ever watch that show, Forged in the Fire?
Yeah.
So he went on Forged in Fire. I think he had like 9 months of actual like bladesmithing experience prior to the show. It was something crazy short. I don't quote me on the 9 months, but it was something super short. And he won the episode that he was on. And then he went back for like the Battle of the Champions, and he took second place on the Battle of the Champions. And then ever since then, he's been steadily rising in the blacksmithing and knife making world, and he's really well known now. His stuff is very, very expensive, but it's very, very good stuff. And I follow him on Instagram and all that stuff. And like one of my dreams in life is to own one of his blades eventually. Like get to the point where I can financially justify to myself, like, hey, I can buy one of his blades. Because he sends out an email, like you have to get on an email list, and he sends out an email like, hey, I'm dropping knives tomorrow. And they're just random knives. You have no idea what he's going to drop until they drop. They literally sell out in less than 30 seconds. I'm not even joking. It's crazy how fast. There's been a couple times where like he showed what he was going to drop, and I was like, oh, I think I can afford that one because it's probably going to be like $700 instead of $1,500. And I was like, oh, I'm going to try and get that one. I tried. I couldn't fucking get it. It was nuts. So one of my dreams is to be able to afford one of his knives, because his stuff is amazing, and he makes all of Jason Momoa's weapons in this show. His samurai sword, so the one he made he made this concept blade. Not all of them, because a lot of those warriors have this, but he made this katana.
He's got a couple.
He's got like some other type of swords and stuff. I don't think I have any other pictures of them, but any weapon that Jason Momoa used throughout this show came from Neo Kamimura, and I think it's just the local ties, and just being a fan of the artwork itself just kind of drawn me to the show even more so. So keep an eye, if you guys do watch it, keep an eye out for those weapons and stuff, because they're really nice.
Yeah. Super cool.
Sorry. I wanted to get that out before I forgot about it.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right. So spoilers. Okay. I don't even know where to start. I almost want to start at season 2 and work our way back, but it might confuse some people because there's a lot of shit that happens in season 2 that I just couldn't get behind. I just couldn't handle it.
I'm gonna tell you from the very beginning, the first very cool thing that happens, obviously other than the first battle, is before the battle. Jason Momoa, of course, has to do some sort of haka in the beginning, and it's awesome. And that was the first thing. I was like, yes, I'm ready for this.
The way that the series starts off is pretty cool. Jason Momoa and his wife, she was pregnant, they weren't Jason Momoa's babies, and they have them, and then they're like on the run constantly, basically. And so then they have this battle scene in the beginning, which is our first time seeing people fight without sight.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. I thought like the fighting scenes.
It's super cool. It's just, and I'm gonna try not to like harp on this show that much because there's a lot of things that like it happens all the time throughout the show where it's like they'll do one thing and then they'll just completely ignore it the next shot, and it's like, okay, I don't understand why this happens or this doesn't.
Give me an example. Give me an example of one. If you can think of one.
Like in the beginning, there's two forces. There's like a village that they're at, but these people they're staying with are in the mountains called the Alchemy. And then there's these witch hunters that they're coming to get them, and they're all in black and they're supposed to be evil, whatever, even though they're not really.
Yeah.
Like
They're just soldiers.
they're just soldiers for another civilization that believes that people with sight are witches.
Yeah.
And so they're going to this village to attack them, and they have everybody, which I thought was cool. A cool idea, just doesn't make sense to me, and it's kind of just brushed off as witchcraft, is everybody identifies as their profession. So, like there might be a character, they'll be like, oh, the only name I remember is like Baba Voss, which is Jason Momoa's character. This is not going to be related to his actual thing. It's just I only remember that name. So they could be like, oh, I'm Baba Voss Kill Rope, which is like a specific job. So everybody, like, they identify as their profession, whatever they are, which is cool. And there's some of them that are literally just basically wizards. And they're like, I'm a, like, visage or presage, whatever that, I can't remember exactly what they call it, but they basically just magically know everything that's happening, and they're like, oh, tell me how many people are up on that mountain. Yeah, like 673, and they're all standing with like, I'm exaggerating to it a little bit, but that's what they do in the show, and they're like, oh, there's like 60 swordsmen over here, whatever. And it's only shown in that beginning and then never again in the show.
I forgot about that entirely.
And so it's like, okay, like at first I kind of just brush it off, and then but like I said, it doesn't happen ever again. So it's like, where did all these like people that just like know everything go? And then they have like these dogs and stuff, and then I'm thinking to myself, like, can the dogs see?
Yeah, are the dogs blind?
Or are they blind? Because they don't look blind. No. Obviously, you can't teach the dog to like pretend to be blind. But it's like, I'm just thinking about like, if everybody's blind in the entire world, that means all animals are blind too, right?
I think so. I think so because the reason why they were blind was because of some like...
It's essentially like another Big Bang.
Yeah.
Is kind of what happened.
It's like some explosion.
Insanely cataclysmic event happened. Yeah. So it's like, it's that by itself, it's like, okay, so I'm trying to understand, like, how does that make sense?
It doesn't really, because if you think about it, just because, like, if I go blind, like, if I were to go blind right now, my next kid is not going to be blind.
Exactly. That's another thing, too. So that was something that they emphasized in the beginning is this is not, like, the first generation. This is, like,
it's
way
years.
Like, they literally have, it's been so long that they no longer even know.
Yeah, most people don't even remember
what life was before. Like, they don't even know like what having eyes, like being able to see is, or like certain things. And it's like, okay.
Well, it takes a long time for you to convince people that having sight is being a witch.
Right.
Like, that would be,
obviously that would take a long period of time.
Yeah, for people to accept that fact. Yeah.
And then like there's throughout the show, like there's just random points when like some character will be up on screen and they'll be like, they'll just start spitting out like facts that it's like, whoa, did you come from modern day? How do you know all of this stuff? And like, I don't understand what's going on right now. like I said, it happens throughout the show all the time.
I think it's probably been at least it's been at least 7 or 8 months, because I definitely haven't watched it since my son was born. But it's been at least 7 or 8 months since I've seen the second season, and even longer. It's been over a year since I watched the first season, so I'm probably just forgetting all of these little things.
Which is I wouldn't expect.
I only
that.
remember the cool stuff.
It's just the thing is like I was told by somebody else to watch this show. They asked me to watch the show so that we could talk about it. And it wasn't that long since they've watched it. And they were like, oh, no, like, just keep watching it and stuff. And I was like, okay. So, like, I kind of just tried to... I wasn't trying to be super critical at first. And then first season went by. Yeah. And then second season went by. And it just got worse. So it's like, oh, well, I tried.
I tried.
Yeah. But, but that being said, if you just straight brush all of that away and you try not to make sense of anything...
You just watch it for the action and
like it's drama. It's an okay show. Like, but it's just like for me, it's so like in your face. Like for me to ignore it would be to just assume I'm an idiot because it's just like literally in your face, you know.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
And like I said, biggest difference is Jason Momoa. This is another thing too. Is like. There's probably like a couple other actors I can think of that also did well.
No,
but Jason Momoa as him being his character, actually being blind and stuff, far superior than everybody else in this show. Like he was the only one that was truly, to me, believable as being blind because he was consistent with it throughout the entire show.
Yeah.
Whereas other people sometimes looked all right, and then the next scene they would just be like. Casually just like, oh yeah, we're blind but we can just
walk normally
travel everywhere and just do everything just fine. It's like okay.
Yeah, there's definitely a few of those people. I can remember a few times where I was like, I remember seeing there and thinking to myself, damn, these guys forgot to act blind.
Yeah. Like look, I get it, like that honestly seems really difficult to do. It's just it's kind of like a huge point in this show, you know?
Yeah, it's literally the show.
Yeah.
The show like literally is
it's called C.
Yeah.
So
about you being blind.
Like I know, like I said, I know some of you had some like plot hole like characteristics where they're just like, oh, I can predict everything. Okay. But like sometimes you don't and then sometimes you do, and I don't understand why.
Yeah, that's where's her? I know I saved a picture of her. This girl. So she has that ability.
Yeah, she's one of those people, which I do really like this actor.
I do too. And I think she did pretty well.
Yeah, she was actually pretty good. She does.
But she's one of those characters.
She gets a little irritating at sometimes, but yeah, it's just there's times when she's
able to see the future
and not the next. Conveniently, like.
And it's not like, one of those things like, oh, that's not how it works. It just goes. No, it's just like conveniently you can't see this.
No, yeah,
but you can see this. Yeah, no, I do
like even in the very beginning when she's helping whatever Magro give birth, it's like, oh yes, this is it's a boy. Oh, but you couldn't see the girl twin right next to them, and it's like, okay, I don't know. That's just weird to me.
No, I agree with you. It's kind of like it definitely isn't fake because there were definitely scenes in the show that literally depended upon her seeing the future or whatever.
Yeah, just predicting things.
It like there's other points where it like feels fake to you. It's like, oh, this person's just making shit up. But yeah, I really liked a lot of the fight scenes though. I will tell you guys that this show does not hold back in brutality.
It's pretty violent.
When people fight and they chop off their arm, you see them chop their arm off,
which I like.
Yeah, which I'm always a fan of shows leaning into it more than trying to block it out, because if you're gonna like write a show that has people's arms chopped off and throats ripped out and eyes gouged, then like just show it, like just have it in there so that
be a man.
It's more authentic. Yeah, just be a man. But this show definitely does that. I mean, there's definitely some moments where I was like, oh damn, like the scene of Baba Voss on top of Jalen Morale and he's just digging his thumbs into his eyes. Oh bro, I was like, I mean, oh damn bro.
I wasn't surprised that it happened, but I was
I was
excited. I was like, yes, do it.
I thought he was just gonna kill him, but he was just like, nah, I'm gonna make you live like us.
Yeah, like come on, dude. He was like, basically almost like trying to ruin his life.
Yeah.
After all that he's done, and it's like, why would you take somebody that thinks he's a god just because he can see and just kill him? No, that's too easy. Make him live as you have lived.
The thing is that I would be too blinded by rage. You kidnap my daughter. You send her off to my brother who's been looking for me to use her as bait to find me. And like, I would just be blinded by rage. I'd kill him.
Oh, I would too, but I wouldn't do that. I'd be way too toxic to do that. Yeah. Like, this is kind of messed up. Oh my gosh. Here's what I would have done because that's just like, that was a messed up situation.
That was dark. I was like, it
happens at the end of
season 1.
I would probably take it one step further if those were my kids, because I would probably basically like apprehend him, right? And like stop him. Make him watch me kill his children in front of him, then take his eyes.
That's messed up.
Because that character,
he's joking. He's joking. CIA and FBI and all those 3 letters. He's joking.
How do you know I'm not there? You think they don't do that?
No, I really don't know what I would do, because now that I have a child, like, it's
you don't want to just terminalist.
No. What I'm saying is, like, now that I have a child, like, I could potentially see myself losing it and doing some messed up stuff, just because I would just be blinded. Like, all common sense, all reason would go out the window, and I'd just lose my shit. So, but yeah, the shitty thing is that these kids aren't even freaking Baba Voss's. They're not even actually his kids. Yeah. But he raised them, and he's a good Polynesian dad, and he just he looks after all the kiki.
Yeah, there was no no CPA in this.
No.
This one.
But yeah, okay. So, on the topic of the kids themselves, can we talk about how just absolutely annoying, dumb, and just straight up like horribly written the 2 children are?
Oh, they're so awful.
It's so bad. All right, so the 2 children. This is Kofun, the male, the boy. They are twins. But he's the younger one. He came out after or whatever. And then the sister, her name is Haniwa.
Yeah.
And she's the older one or whatever. But they are able to see because they're special, and they are
not
just
really, but
dumb.
Yeah.
Like straight up just dumb.
Yeah, they're just stupid.
There's so many, like, all right. Look, I get that there are probably people nowadays that act the way that they do. However, we're talking about a survivalist situation. You're in the post-apocalyptic world, and y'all are acting like that. Like they were doing like, God, I can't even like. I can't even think of anything off the top of my head.
The thing I hated about them, other than the fact they're just irritating and do stupid decisions, like
yes, it's the
towards the story later.
Decisions.
Like again, it's so irritating how inconsistent they are as well. Because even just these characters, so when they get introduced and they first meet Drilla Morel, he doesn't really. I guess he kind of teaches them not to read because that's what the other lady did.
Yeah.
But he gives them more books to read so they can keep learning. Right. And of those book reading that they do, like there's a moment when they go from like nothing to there was a one scene. It was so awful to me. They were with their family and stuff. And they're all talking. They're like, how come maybe these kids sees and these kids can't see? And they're like, it's just simple genetics. Whoa.
Simple genetics.
So yeah, it's like, where's the
y'all are doctors now.
Yeah, you're jumping from like being
books are literally illegal to have
to I just know everything genetics. I just like if I just plucked a random person from this time period and was like,
they were them,
and it's like, wait, what? How do you know that? You don't know any of that.
Yeah.
On top of that, even Driller Morale too. Like they performed an operation and replaced his eyes. What are you talking about? They don't know how to do that. Even if they did, they can't physically do that. Because just because you know how to do it, like if I gave you a book about it, it doesn't mean you got the hands to do it.
Yeah. Just because I gave you
trying to downplay doctors and stuff,
step-by-step directions on how to do an eye transplant doesn't mean you could walk into an OR and do it.
As a blind person, just casually do it. Like, no, dude. But so basically there's a bunch of scenes of them doing that, and like there's even one that
there's a lot of scenes
they act like they're gods, and then the next scene they get trapped or captured by all these people that they could just look up and see all of them, and it's like, bro, what are you doing, man?
This dude especially, Kofun, oh my gosh.
I watched it. The sister gets captured more than he does.
No, but like he's stupidity.
He's just stupid.
He's this big. He's big. He's a big kid, but he acts like he's 10 years old and 100 pounds.
Yeah,
and has to be coddled and freaking like, dude, you're in the wilderness running away from a bunch of witch hunters that want to burn you at the stake.
Yeah,
like, man up, son. Like, pull your pants up and get your shit together.
Yeah,
right?
And then it's the opposite for the sister.
Yeah, and then she thinks
she's just like, I don't know. Like,
I can see I'm the greatest warrior on the planet.
She thinks she's like freaking like Legolas or something, but she sucks.
With her bow. Yeah.
She's horrible. Like, just because
her bow that has
you're
like
comparing a blind person to you, that doesn't make you good. That just makes you slightly less shitty.
My favorite scenes are when they're trying to like say that like, oh, but we have our sight, and then Baba Vosh just like slaps him around like, hey, just because you have your sight doesn't mean I can't whoop your ass.
But they never like listen.
No,
and it's like, and then like throughout the show, they just do the same thing over and over again.
It is very annoying.
She gets captured every single time, and she's always like, I'm a strong, independent woman, and I don't need no man. And then gets captured immediately. Yeah. And then they're always like, oh, like, I'm strong, I can do this, I have eyes, don't worry, we got this, we can see. And yet, every single time, you guys fail, almost die, and then get captured. And then put everybody else at risk.
Now Baba Voss has to save you again.
And then you're going to treat him like he's not your father again.
It's so
Even though he does so much for you guys.
Yeah. And the fact that they, they just... Like, as soon as they found Jalen Morale, they just kind of like brushed Baba Voss off. Like,
because they thought they were special. But they're actually not.
They're not.
Like, I know, again, like, it seems like they are because they're in this world of, like, mostly blind people. But as you learn, they're not. No, I'm not saying they're not, like...
There's actually more people with sight than you would think. Yeah. Plus, the witch hunters are literally just a group of soldiers that were created to go and kill all people with sight, which means that... Throughout history,
that there's lots of people.
Yeah, throughout history, there had to have been enough people with sight to warrant an entire division of soldiers
to specialize
in killing people with sight.
Yeah.
So there had to have been quite a few people with sight. So you're not that special.
Yeah, but like you said, they don't.
They think they are.
They think they're gods.
Yeah. So and they get wrecked so many times.
Yeah, it's like you're gonna have this god complex and then suck at life.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they run into their half brother dude that looks like a monkey in the trash pile. That was annoying.
That's probably sounded racist. Like, if for those of you who've seen the show, that probably sounds racist, but
it's literally what it is, though.
You're not wrong.
But he's like
no. Let me put it better. He is literally a caveman.
Yeah, like he literally is dressed.
No joke, he is a Neanderthal.
He's dressed like a caveman. He does he can't really communicate very well, and he when you first see him, he's walking around like a monkey, throughout the maze of the trash pile. I didn't mean it to be a derogatory term towards him. My bad.
But he is a literal caveman. Like, he's from cave people. Yeah, and he's an idiot.
But he can see.
Kind of, he can see and
so it makes
kind
him
of
special.
Can fight people, I guess. And then it's so funny because it's like, I work for you. You don't hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
No joke. That's
why.
That's how he is. That's literally his character. And then he betrays them because he found somebody else to work for.
Because she's a queen. And they're
so
not
like,
a queen.
You know what's better than working for a princess?
A queen.
Oh.
Queen better. Oh. Queen better. Got it. Okay.
That's probably more racist than me doing that. But.
Yeah, probably. So that's all like season 1. And like with all that being said, season 1 was still, in my opinion, not that.
It's definitely it's better than 2.
It's way better than 2.
But I still don't think it's that great.
But the fight scenes are dope. Baba Voss is an absolute unit of a man.
Oh yeah, Jason Momoa, he kills.
Like,
kills
my
it.
gosh,
literally kills
everyone
it in the show. Like his fighting style is sexy.
Is the Baba Yaga of the blind world. Like nobody can touch him.
The way he fights is just so
I don't know
good.
if it's just because I have like a huge man crush on Jason Momoa, but just the way he like moves and stuff, dude.
No, like I said, he's the most believable person. So he's the only character.
Sexiness with his movements and stuff, dude.
Oh yeah, like I said, his fighting is stylized.
Yeah.
So like when he's got his katana, right? That's his family weapon that was passed down to when he killed his dad. And like the way he like moves, like he'll actually, he'll make it believable. Like he'll sweep around or make taps and stuff like that. And then when he gets real close and he actually starts fighting people, like he'll like whip around and like bring the sword up to like do a choke and like have it pulled out. And then he'll like kill them by sheathing the sword and slicing it so it closes. And then doing like some cool thing, like dude, it's super cool.
His fighting style is epic.
Yeah,
like whoever choreographs that stuff needs a pay raise because it's dope.
At least for him, super.
For Baba Voss specifically,
yeah. Everybody else is like not that great, but
yeah. All right, so I'm gonna try. Like, I want to try and get through season 2 quickly because like I feel like I'm dragging on and talking about the same things. Okay, so season 2. Okay, the end of season 1, we find out that
that's when they get to Jalen Morrell.
Right, but also on top of that, these two's mom, the twins' mom, who is not her. Shoot, did I not give a picture of her? I thought I did. There it is. Princess Magra. That's the mom of the twins and the wife of Baba Voss, Jason Momoa's character. At the end of the first season, in the middle of the first season, we find out that she's actually the Princess Magra, who is the rightful heir of the queen of this kingdom or whatever.
Yeah.
And so she, her kids were, or Baba Voss had to take her kids and get out of there because the witch hunters were there. And then the second half of the first season is her just trying to find Baba Voss and the kids so that they could be reunited. Eventually, she runs into her sister, Queen Kane, who is batshit crazy.
Yep.
Right? Like, think of the craziest person you know and turn their crazy meter up to 11 because that's this chick.
Yep.
She is insane. She literally flooded her valley by opening up a dam, killing
her
entire
civilization.
kingdom.
Yeah, kingdom.
Like, she murdered her entire kingdom just to like reinforce
because she was so insane that she couldn't accept them like essentially having a mutiny of her and like throwing her over, like overthrowing her, that she just decided, well, I'm just gonna kill you all,
right? And then blame it on somebody else, so it's not
pretend it was something else.
So at the end of season 1, Princess Magra and Queen Kane, they meet up, and like there's this whole episode about whether or not because Magra is the rightful heir, technically speaking. She just chose to leave and get out of there because she didn't want to be queen. And so there's this whole episode about her deciding whether or not she's going to kill Kane or...
No, there was a different reason, but like why she left.
I thought she...
No,
she left for
Queen
Jalen
Kane
Morrell. She left for Jalen Morrell, didn't she?
Queen Kane is the rightful heir. That's just the father wanted Magra to be queen, and so
okay.
she tried
you've seen it
she
more
tried to
recently, so.
overthrow Queen Kane initially, failed, and in doing so, slept with Jilla Morel, which was her lover, and then just to get back at her, and then had the kids, and then ran away and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So
you've seen it more recent than me, so you remember better. But, yeah, they had a falling out, whatever. She left, and then she's trying to take back being queen so that she can have the resources to find her kids.
Yeah,
so
only to save her family.
Yeah. Doesn't work out.
Which is a plot hole in itself.
Because the third Jalen Morale kid, the brother, which is this guy right here. So don't get mad at me for calling him an
Probably
ape.
can't see him, but
Yeah, he might
it's
not.
a little dark.
Yeah, you can't see him. Never mind. But
Trust me, he looks like a caveman.
yeah. So he ends up killing Tamaktajun, the head witch hunter.
Second favorite character.
Second easily. And so that helps Queen Kane stay in power because now, like he is supposedly a loyal subject of Queen Kane, but he loves Princess Magra, so he was gonna help her take over by killing Queen Kane for Princess Magra. Right? He was right. No. But he was gonna enforce because Magra told Kane that she has to go out and renounce her queen, her as queen, and then say that Magra is in charge now. And Tamaktajun was there to enforce that because he's loyal to Magra.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, Tamaktajun is the commander of the witch hunters, but ultimately he's essentially like a general.
Right.
Whoever. But he's loyal to the people of their kingdom or whatever.
Yeah.
And because he saw what Queen Kane was doing, he no longer thought that she was fit to rule. So he agreed to help with Princess Magra.
Yeah, and he's always liked Magra from the beginning too.
Yeah. I mean, he's always been close to the family as like a
and he always liked Magra. So
plus Queen Kane murdered his family before he was appointed as the commander.
That too.
And
and she's batshit crazy.
Yeah, and she's insane.
She
makes the Joker look like a cool guy.
Honestly, I'd rather hang out with the Joker than Queen Kane.
Yeah.
So yeah, essentially it doesn't work, and now there's two queens because they just had to save face or whatever, and so now there's Queen Magra and Queen Kane, and they rule together, but not really.
Well, no, it's just Queen Kane and Princess Magra. It's just they made an agreement that they're ruling together, but it's still officially Queen Kane and Princess Magra.
Yeah,
and Queen Kane's still insane, so she does whatever she wants.
Yeah. So then they end up going to this new place, taking over some dude's house.
Yeah, his entire
following,
village,
whatever, and
city.
turning it into the new capital of their kingdom.
Yep.
And then she decides she's going to go to war with the most powerful kingdom around, which is where Dave Bautista comes into the picture. Dope dude. He was savage in this show, dude.
Yeah.
Dave Bautista did well.
Yeah, he did awesome in this.
And he looked huge in this.
Yeah, he's always huge.
I mean, he's always huge, but he looked like Drax. He's a little bit smaller than I typically remember him being, like from WWE days and stuff. In this, he looks back to like WWE form. Maybe it's the beard. I don't know.
Yeah, could be that or just the armor and stuff.
Yeah, but he is huge, and so he's the general of what is there? Do you remember their kingdom? I don't remember.
No, I don't remember.
But they're your like quintessential like I don't know. They're like your quintessential kingdom that's built on fear and killing everybody and just being the most powerful nation in the area or whatever. They have the most powerful army, the biggest army, the best weapons, whatever.
Some would say almost based off the United States.
Maybe.
And I would say,
maybe.
Okay.
And he, so now there's this whole subplot that's Baba Voss's brother. and Baba Voss used to belong to that nation, and actually was like a very like he was an assassin basically for that nation, and did some very unspeakable things.
Well, it's weird because he was actually they said that he was a slaver, and then he became a soldier for their army, and then like I said, the dad used to be like the one in charge, and then he killed him.
Then he found Jesus and left.
Yeah.
But this just brings me to my point that Queen Kane is insane, right? Absolutely insane. So insane that she decides to, she decides to have sex first with the
guy.
brother, the half brother.
Yeah.
In order to get a baby inside her, so that she could say that she was immaculately had an immaculate conception, meaning that God gave her the baby.
Yeah, I can see.
And so she does him, then proceeds to kill him.
What a surprise!
Yeah,
the baby doesn't work out because
she straight up Black Widows the dude and kills him.
Well, after the fact.
Yeah, after she does him, like she kills him.
Well,
after the baby dies.
She does it. She only kills him after she finds out the baby dies.
Right.
Because he's like, "Oh, don't worry,
we'll try again.
I can do it again."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, you stupid child."
Yeah.
Because
come
on, bro. You're from a people that live in caves. You're probably not very fertile, you know.
So she kills him with a piece of like glass or something that she keeps in her skin.
Thing, yeah. It almost reminded me of that stupid laser energy sword.
Yeah.
It was like some tiny little bone.
But that she like keeps inside her skin, and it's so gross. I mean, every time she pulls it out, I'm just
anything and everything like
about
when she's
her.
featured. Yeah, it's just so. Ugh.
But when that doesn't work out, she takes it up a notch and decides to fucking seduce, have sex, and be impregnated by her nephew, Kofun.
And of course,
Kofun he's like
he acts like a
oh my god, dude! This was where
16-year-old. Nah, not even 16. Dude. Like 15-year-old, like virgin, like typical. Like he will literally take anything.
He's like, oh my god, she's showing interest in me. She touched my thigh.
I'm a man now.
Oh, she put it in her mouth. Oh.
And it's I'm not like it's gross because they don't show them doing it, but they show some other stuff, and it's like really creepy.
Yeah,
like
it's gross. It's so gross, and it's just that was the point where I was like, what the hell, writers, like whoever wrote this freaking show, and B, like, Kofun, you're an idiot, because not only does he do that, and like end up. Because it's one thing if you do it, but then he like decides to back it up and take her side.
Yeah.
And now he's like loyal to her over his mom.
Like, come on, dude.
And it's like, bro, really? It's like, I have a child coming now, so I gotta be a man.
Like you literally just met her, and then you're like, oh.
Yeah, it was so. But what pissed me off just as much is that it wasn't just one of the twins that had some stupid love story.
Of course.
The other twin...
This one was honestly even worse.
I think so.
Because it doesn't even make sense whatsoever.
Dumb. So, there is what is Bob Voss's brother's name?
Ido Voss. Dave Bautista's kingdom.
In Ido Voss's kingdom,
that girl right there.
He has a general right here, or lieutenant, my bad.
Who later becomes a captain.
Yeah. Lieutenant Ren. I think I have a picture of her. Yeah, Lieutenant Ren.
This is the
person that he puts in charge of overseeing Honeywell when he captures her from Jalen Morale. When he takes her from Jalen Morale, I should say. He puts this chick in charge of watching her inside the building. And somehow, just so happens that the one person that Ido Voss decides to put in charge of watching her, one is not blind, just happens to be somebody else that can see.
To be fair, that doesn't bother me because like his highest ranking officer They can see, yeah, sure, because
Sure.
everybody else is like bots to them because they can see.
Okay, I could wipe that away. If not for the second fact that she just decided to fall in love with Aniwa. Immediately. No lead up, no nothing. Literally,
Bro, this
like
is
within
like
the first hour of
this
being
is
there.
literally a Martha. Why did you say that name? And they just like, let's be friends. Like that's basically what happens here. They're
Yeah,
like, oh wait, I know you can see. Wait, you see too? I love you. Like, dude.
Let me show you something. And then she takes them into this like
Bro, they go to
skyscraper tower,
like,
whatever.
no joke. It's like okay, post-apocalyptic
Yeah.
world, right? Generations in,
Yeah.
but she has this penthouse
Yeah.
in this skyscraper that's totally fine,
Yeah.
and they live in it like it's brand new still. And it's like, wait, what's going on? Like no joke. If you take those scenes where they're in the penthouse, and you told me it was from a different show, I would believe you.
Yeah.
Because they don't wear their like
They don't wear their
clothes or
armor.
nothing.
Yeah, 'cause
they literally
they
just act
decide
like
to,
they're living
get
in
after it.
Yeah, and then they
get after it.
Yeah, and it's just like, what is going on?
It's so bad. It's so bad. And then not only all of that, right? Not only does she fall in love with her, she can see, but then when she helps Haniwa escape, Haniwa's like, come with me. Like, you can see, we'll get out of here. Like, we'll leave. Like, we'll go off into the sunset together. And she's like, nah, I gotta stay. I gotta protect
My people.
nothing.
Well, it's like I can't
people
leave
that
my
helped
people.
me
But
in the
it's like
past that
it's
can't
like,
see.
all right, so you want to help your people, but you just
helped a person escape.
said you don't care about your people by helping the prisoner escape.
Yeah.
That you just immediately fell in love with, and had to have
coitus with.
Equality and inclusivity and all that.
I wasn't even upset about that part, honestly. Like I wasn't.
But it doesn't make sense.
I wasn't even upset about the whole her being gay thing, but like just the fact that she fell in love with her so fast, or like just fell for her so fast.
Well, that's what I mean.
And just abandoned all sense of duty.
But that's part
or
of it.
Training
Like,
or anything.
they just for the fact, so they could say, oh, we had these like two women lovers. With that kind of reasoning, that's retarded.
So bad. So bad. It was so bad. And then later on in the season, when, the big final battle happens, and which honestly was pretty cool, if I'm being honest. Like, it was a very 300-esque kind of thing where, like, they were severely outnumbered, but they used tactics and the terrain to overcome them. But like prior to that, they had this like meeting thing to try and diplomatically resolve their issues.
Well, first it was weird to me that they were like, oh, we claimed the fort because we got here first, and then they like sent their entire force outside to stand in front.
It's like, oh, stand in front of there,
so that they could then die by the 5,000 archers apparently that this other kingdom has. It's like, wait a minute. Why does only this kingdom have archers? Why doesn't everybody else have archers?
I don't know, dude. But there's this like betrayal subplot thing that happens with
because
like Lieutenant Ren, who's now Captain Ren, thinks that Haniwa like lured her away from the diplomatic convention so that she could have coitus again. And just to lure her away so that people from Haniwa's kingdom could come and assassinate everybody from the other kingdom.
Yeah, and ruin everything.
It's like, okay, what?
First of all, that whole meeting thing, bro.
You should have expected.
Why wasn't there
like
security? Like,
yeah,
they had
no security.
Bro, they had two guys, to defend your entire like authoritative figures. Like,
yeah.
First of all, why are you even camping together?
Yeah.
Normally that's separate.
Yeah.
And then you meet in the middle. You don't literally share like campgrounds with them. It's about, like I said, there's only two guys because they got assassinated. That's like, oh wow. Oh, two guys.
Surprising.
Man. Biggest kingdom ever with like the hugest army, but two guys. All right. And then it's just like, bro, come on. Like, why are you gonna believe that stupid like crap that Queen King was trying to pull off?
So pathetic. This whole character in general, I didn't care for.
And then she finds out, and then she's like, "Oh, okay, I'm back to loving you now."
Yeah, and like in the middle of the final battle too, like Honeywa's like, "It wasn't me, it's Queen Kane. I didn't do it." And Ren's like, "Okay,
cool. That makes sense.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, my bad. Hey, I overreacted. This whole we went to war because I overreacted.
I almost killed you for it. So
yeah,
it's all good.
Like we fought,
Just
and I almost stabbed you, but it's all good now. I love you. I never stopped loving you, baby.
Yeah, and it's like, come on, dude.
Yeah, it's so bad. Eventually, Jason Momoa's character Baba Voss and Dave Bautista's Ito Voss fight, and that battle scene is. It's like it tugged at my heartstrings a little bit.
It was it's not as cool as I wanted it to be.
It wasn't as visually spectacular as I was anticipating it being, but like I don't know if it's because, you know, I was watching it with John, and me and John haven't had the greatest childhood as brothers, and just, you know, two brothers fighting and talking about how their dad, you know, screwed them over and this and that, and then Ito just basically saying, "Look, it's too late for me anyway. Just kill me." Like,
but you know, like it was so dumb. And like, is in that fight is when they finally get to talk about it, right, together, and it's like, and he's like, "Oh,
and he's like, I'm not gonna fight
really
you."
Try to kill me? Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
What a dick.
Yeah.
And it's like, you've been fighting this whole time. And you didn't know that? Well, are you kidding me?
I like, yeah, but I think Ito is just.
It's literally like the same thing as like this. It's like, why didn't you ask?
Yeah.
You just assumed because he killed your dad that he was doing something evil. Like he didn't want to kill you.
Yeah. Brothers, bro, little brothers, dummies.
But yeah, he dies. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, it was it tugged on my heartstrings a little bit, especially that particular scene where like they're laying down, Baba Voss is cut up, like there's like in that moment I thought there was a good chance that he was gonna die too. I literally told
he almost looked like
I literally told my siblings, I was like, "Look, I'm not watching this if Baba Voss dies. Like I'm not."
He's the only reason to watch it. Yeah,
I'm not gonna continue to watch it. So. Luckily he doesn't, but in that moment I was like, oh man, he might die alongside of Ito. Like they might just die together, which would have been poetic, but at the same time would have just ended the show for me.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, there's just a lot of those dumb story plot devices, subplots.
There was one thing
characters.
That really pissed me off, and it was when I think I told you too. I was like I said, my favorite character is Tamakti Jun, but there was an episode. And they ruined him for a second, and they're like traveling with him, and they run across these people, and they're like, they don't let him go in the village because he did so many things to them when he was a witch hunter, and it's like, and then they pull this stupid like trying to make him appear like a good guy when he's not necessarily bad.
He's an anti-hero.
Yeah. So like, but they try to turn him into like a better person, and they gave him like, for one episode, one time only, he like starts having like PTSD and all this. And it's like, where did this come from? You've been the commander of the witch hunters for 20 years, bro. Yeah. And only now, in this exact moment, you're having this like, oh, I can't take it. I want to kill myself because of all the things I done. What? Yeah. And then after that, the next episode is fine. It's over.
Yeah.
That's it.
That did strike me as a little odd. It was just their attempt to humanize him and bring depth to his character, but it was too sudden and it was too shallow, because that was also when Bo Lion, because she was going to go kill him, because she was at that village, and she was going to go kill him in retribution for all the things that he'd done to that village of people.
And then she just magically discovered him too. She literally just waltzes out of the village and just stumbles upon him.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're right.
But she was like stumbles, because she walks exactly straight to him, and then was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. But then she's like, I'll let you go just this once because you look like a sad man.
The other lady was with him.
Yeah.
You
look like a sad man.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of those dumb things. In the end, for me personally, the action, Jason Momoa, and some of the just crazy things that happen. I don't want to say even out or wipe away all those dumb things, but it made it watchable for me. And it made it to the point where I'm going to watch season 3 just so I know what happens.
I mean, I'm invested in it at this point, so I'm going to finish it.
Yeah.
Like I said, the 3rd season is supposed to be the last one.
So, if Aniwa or Kofun if one of them doesn't die, I'm done.
I want both of them
to die. I don't want them both gone. I want
both of them to die. I want Margaret to die.
Yeah.
Like,
well, Margaret, like, if she lived, I'd get it just for the fact that she's Baba Voss's wife. You know, like, hey, man, like, I get it. She's your wife. She also, like, married another dude.
She's a horrible person, too.
She married another dude because she thought Baba Voss was dead, and she did it so that she could gain power to find her kids. Again, another reason to find her kids. And then Baba Voss came back and, like, was rightfully upset about it. And, like, she was just like, why are you upset at me? Like,
yeah, what did I do?
What? Like,
this is for the children.
I married this guy so I could get power so I could find our children. Why are you mad at me? I was just like, what? I mean, granted, you staved him off from, doing the thing because he wanted to, but you're like, nah. Like, so
it was funny.
That's fine.
That's actually funny because he was, like, sitting in the bed and she's like, what are you doing? Get your clothes on. It's like, oh. Fine. Yeah. Because they made an agreement that it wasn't like a real marriage. No. It was just like a beneficiary kind of thing.
Like, sure. But, like, they had a whole ceremony and everything, and in front of everybody else, she was married to him. So when Baba Voss, because technically her and Baba Voss's marriage was done out in the wilderness and didn't count, like, legally.
Only for that kingdom. Yeah. That kingdom did not recognize their marriage because they had, like, a wedding band thing that they wear on their arms.
Yeah, I was just like, all right, Maga, like, how are you going to be pissed at him for being mad that you're married to another dude? I piss off.
Like I said, I hate the kids, I hate her, I hated Jalen Morrell, I hate all his children, honestly. Yeah. Not all of them, just that one dude.
The oldest one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because obviously he was helping him.
Yeah.
The rest of them are innocent, so...
Yeah, there's so many things that went wrong in season 2. I almost just want to watch season 3 just to see if they recover or if they just continue going down the path of dumbassery.
There's no way. So basically, I just want to say that, like, to finalize everything for this show for me is this show tries to be something that it's not. This almost, and I haven't even seen Game of Thrones, but this feels like something that wants to be Game of Thrones, and it's not.
I don't know. And, like, in the limited amount of stuff that I've seen at Game of Thrones, I wouldn't agree with that. I would say that it's different. Maybe.
I don't know. Actually, I can already pull a lot of things that I haven't even watched the show, but I just know are in the show.
Yeah,
that are actually very similar to this.
There's a lot of family battle, like yeah. You know what? Game of Thrones is way more complicated, but yeah, you're actually not. Now that
it's just a different setting and it's more fantasy based, but honestly, it's pretty similar. It seems like in concept. I mean, isn't Jason Momoa on that too?
He was, in the very beginning. He doesn't last very long.
Yeah, so that's what it feels like to me. I haven't watched it, so I couldn't tell you exactly, but pretty sure it's pretty similar. But it's not that good. And honestly, my feeling towards the show is almost like they took Walking Dead seasons 1 through like 9, which is where I stopped, I think, but crammed it all into 2 seasons is how I felt, which is cool idea. Starts off pretty well. Immediately starts dropping off within the first season, and then the second season is just, this sucks. Yeah. And I don't really want to watch it.
Yeah, but I'm going to.
I'm going to because I've already invested into it. Plus, like I said,
you get to see Jason Momoa cut a dude's head off, but only half of the head, not the whole head.
Like,
dude,
for
that
him,
one scene
for
where
Jason
he
Momoa,
there's like one fight scene where they're in the woods and it's like some random warriors and he like puts a sword in the dude's mouth and just like punches it through the head. I was like,
oh yeah, he does a lot of that stuff. He even does a King Kong moment where he just straight rips the dude's jaw.
Yes.
I was like, yes.
Dude, I was like,
do it.
Baba Voss, you a savage, bro. Yeah. You a savage. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what did you guys think of this movie? Or TV show. I know I said we weren't going to do an hour-long episode, but there's just a lot of feelings to unpack about this show.
And to be fair, 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Honestly. Yeah.
So let us know what you guys thought about it in the comments down below. Do you agree that the second season fell short by a long shot? If any of you guys think that Queen Kane is not batshit crazy, you can go ahead and just unsubscribe.
Just get out right now.
She is just,
in fact,
absolutely
go find those people in the cave and go live down there and stay there.
Yeah. So thank you guys for being here. We appreciate you guys as always. Thanks for all the love and support. Please like, subscribe, comment, share with a friend. Catch you guys in the next episode.
We will see you in the next one. Chit chat.
Chit chat.